we have a whole family of blue jays making a nest at the mattress house. Speaking of nest, we just got the Nest bedding Sparrow mattress in, and I am so excited to test it out. But remember, you'll find all of our in-depth reviews as well as some money-saving coupons at mattressclarity.com. Nest recently went through a major rebrand, and what used to be the Alexander hybrid is now the Nest Sparrow. But the name change isn't the only thing that's new. Let's see what it's all about. So first of all, the Nest Sparrow is 12 inches tall, and it's surrounded by a nice cooling cover. The cover contains thermic phase change material, which helps the mattress stay breathable, and it's a great pick, especially if you sleep hot at night. But a really cool thing about the cover is that it unzips. So underneath the cover, you'll find the comfort layer. This is a thick piece of gel-infused memory foam. Gel is a great material because it helps pull heat away from the body and keep you cool. But another great thing about this bed is that it's available in 3 firmness levels. So if you happen to not be a fan of the firmness level you choose, you could always just call Nest and they will give you another comfort layer to replace it with. Another fun thing is that if you share a bed with a partner and you both have different preferences, you can actually split the feel on both sides. So one side could feel firm and the other could feel soft. Another thing that sets this bed apart is that it has 4 support layers. So underneath this initial comfort layer, there's a responsive foam layer. Underneath that is a slightly more dense layer of foam that gives you extra support. Then you get to their pocketed coil system. These coils are what makes the mattress super breathable and bouncy and responsive. And finally, at the very bottom is a thin layer of base foam. This gives it a nice pad for these coils to rest on and helps extend the life of your mattress. Overall, we expect this bed to last at least 10 years. Here at Mattress Clarity, we always pay close attention to a bed's firmness and feel. So let's see what the Nest Sparrow is all about. But before I dive in, let me explain our firmness scale to you. Here at Mattress Clarity, we use a 1 to 10 firmness scale, with 6.5 being the industry standard for medium firm. That also just so happens to be what the Nest Sparrow feels like. It creates a great balance of comfort and support, and it works well in many different sleeping positions. But let's talk about what this bed feels like. It's a hybrid bed with this lovely tufted pillow top, and the top portion feels pretty slow moving. You'll get a lot of cushioning. But because it has those coils underneath, it feels very balanced. So it still gets a bit of responsiveness and a bit of pressure relief. A really good way to show you what this feels like is with my handy squash ball. So watch as I drop it onto the mattress from shoulder height, and you'll see it does get quite a bit of height. Even with that top comfort layer there, those coils give it a nice and bouncy, responsive feel. We also have to talk about what this bed feels like in different sleeping positions. So starting on my back, this bed is fantastic for back sleepers. I felt a great balance of comfort and support, lots of nice pressure relief, but it still helped me get that neutral alignment that you need. Moving over to my side, I felt like it was also a really great pick there. What you really should look for if you're a side sleeper is a thick comfort layer that will absorb any pain that you could feel along your shoulders and your hips. That's exactly what you'll find in the Nest Sparrow. But I will say, whenever I move over to my stomach, this bed just isn't quite supportive enough. It has that classic medium firm feel, so over time, I would anticipate my hips sinking deeper into this comfort layer, which could put some strain on the lower back and lead to pain over time. So if you are a back sleeper, look for something firmer. Here at Mattress Clarity, we like to combine our own personal subjective opinions with objective tests, just like the pressure map right here. Watch closely as I rest on my back, side, and stomach. On the bottom of your screen, you'll see everything from blue, which means that there's no pressure at all the way to red, which means that there's a lot of pressure. So if you see a lot of orange and red in a certain area, it's a good indication that there might be a little bit of discomfort if you rest in that sleeping position. But let's see what it says.
Hey guys, Martin here to offer a different perspective. I am a larger person. If you're a larger person like me, you definitely want to think about your size and weight when looking for a mattress. So I want to give my perspective on the Nest Sparrow mattress. So lying on this mattress, I thought it was closer actually to a 6 out of 10, not a 6.5 out of 10 like Elissa thought. I think it's because I am a larger person, I'm kind of activating these top layers more than she did, getting more of that comfort than her experience. Now, sleeping positions, starting on my back, really good match for me, nice balance of comfort and support, good lumbar support, and good overall support. Moving to my side, some plush top layers here, some really nice pressure relief on my shoulders and my hips. Moving to my stomach though, it's a little bit softer than average, so not the best match for me as a stomach sleeper.
If you share a bed with a partner, you really want to pay close attention to your bed's motion isolation. What this means is that if you're resting on one side of the bed and your partner comes in on the other and they start switching sleeping positions, are you going to feel that movement transfer to your side of the mattress? One way we test this is with a glass of water. So watch as I press into the top layers around the glass. If you see a lot of movement happening, it's a good indication that this bed doesn't isolate motion super well. Let's check it out. Okay, so I'm pressing into the mattress here, and there's a little bit of movement here, but it's really not too bad, especially considering it's a hybrid bed. The thick layer of gel memory foam does a pretty decent job of absorbing a lot of that movement. But if you're a really light sleeper, easily disturbed, there's a chance you could still feel your partner's movement on their side of the bed. But let's not leave it at just this test. Let's also see what it's like in real life. I'm gonna get in on one side of the bed and Ravi, our lovely video producer here, is gonna get in on the other side. And as he switched sleeping positions and moved around, I did feel a little bit of that movement come over to my side of the bed. Again, it might not be an issue for most people, but if you're easily disturbed, you might wanna look for something that's entirely made out of foam because those isolate motion exceptionally well. If you share a bed with a partner, you also wanna think about your mattress's edge support. And this means exactly what you think it means. If you're sitting or lying near the side of the bed, are you going to feel secure or are you gonna feel like you might roll off? Well, you can see here that it barely dips at all whenever I'm sitting on the side. That's because the Nest Sparrow mattress has a reinforced casement around the sides, so it's super supportive. You really should feel right where you should be. I could even bend down and tie my shoes and I wouldn't feel like I'm gonna roll off the bed. But let's see what it's like whenever I'm resting on the bed. So lying down on it, you can see there's hardly a dip at all. I mean, there's a little bit of an indentation where my knee hangs over the side, but overall, this bed has some of the best edge support that I've ever seen in a bed. 10 out of 10. To make things even easier, I'll go over the pros and cons of the Nest Sparrow mattress. Starting with the good stuff. First of all, the Nest Sparrow works really well for combination back and side sleepers. In these two sleeping positions, you'll get the necessary comfort and support that you need. Also, the Nest Sparrow works really well for couples. This bed has great motion isolation and edge support, so it's fantastic if you share a bed with a partner. And last but not least, the Nest Sparrow mattress is great for folks who want a customizable bed. Remember, if you're not a fan of the original comfort layer, you can always change it to get something softer or firmer. And you can even split it so that one side feels soft and the other feels firm if that's the way that you want it. Of course, we also have to talk about the cons of the Nest Sparrow mattress. So this bed just isn't the best choice for most stomach sleepers. This mattress is medium firm, and if you rest on your stomach, you're just gonna need something a bit more supportive. Also, the Nest Sparrow isn't the best choice for people who are on a very tight budget. This is a slightly higher end mattress. It's got a lot of unique features like the flippable comfort layer, but again, that does make it cost a little bit more, so just something to take into consideration. Also, the Nest Sparrow mattress isn't the best choice for a lot of heavier folks. It is pretty supportive with the coils underneath, but again, heavier people might just need something a bit firmer to get that support that they need. We get it. There are so many different mattress brands out there, so if you're shopping for a new bed, it can feel overwhelming. To make things a little bit easier, we'll compare the Nest Sparrow to another popular online mattress, the Tuft and Needle. Now, the Tuft and Needle comes in two options. You've got an all foam model and a hybrid model. The hybrid model feels very similarly to the Sparrow. They're both medium firm mattresses. The only main difference is that Tuft and Needle is a bit more responsive than the Nest Sparrow. The Nest Sparrow comes in 3 different firmness levels though, so if you want something a touch softer or firmer, this might be a good way to go. However, because of all of the extra bells and whistles, the Nest Sparrow does cost a little bit more than the Tuft and Needle, so these are all things you want to take into consideration. Remember, you can find even more in-depth information by reading our Tuft and Needle mattress review at mattressclarity.com. When you're buying a new mattress, you always got to read the fine print. So here's a quick overview of Nest's company policies. First of all, they do offer free shipping and free returns, and the Nest Sparrow comes with a lifetime warranty. Better yet, this bed has a 365-day sleep trial. That's a whole year for you to test it out within the comfort of your home. And different bedding accessories are available. Still got questions? Don't worry, I'm here to help. One common question I hear is Nest bedding made in the United States? Well, you can rest easy because the answer is yes. All Nest bedding products are made right here in the United States. Second question, can you flip a Nest Sparrow mattress? No, you cannot flip this mattress. If you were to flip it, you'd be resting on top of the coils, and that just wouldn't feel quite right. You can, however, flip the comfort layer. Just unzip the cover and turn that foam around to get it to where you want it to be. Last question, what if I don't like my Nest Sparrow mattress? Don't stress about it because Nest has one of the best sleep trial periods in the industry. Their sleep trial runs an entire year, so you have so much time to test it out. But if during that sleep trial period you think, this just isn't for me, you can definitely return it and get a full refund. Oh, my winged friends are back in their nest. So cute. Remember, if you want to find even more in-depth mattress information, head over to mattressclarity.com. And you'll find a fantastic money-saving coupon in the description below. See ya.